my passion around bicycles is not so much on the recreational end, but on like the pragmatic side of things. So like bikes are incredibly efficient, inexpensive machines for traveling around. I mean, especially in a place like Detroit where it is so flat, where there are, paved roads everywhere. Um, it's a good way to unlock the city, and people unlock it for a lot of different reasons, but it's, to my mind, the most accessible, affordable way to do that. And what we do is we increase that, the effectiveness of that by taking away cost as a barrier. Something as little as a flat tire, stops someone from getting around, and we remove that obstruction. So I think it's a really good way to relate to the city as a whole is, making it possible to move in the city in a way where you don't have to be worrying about car insurance. You don't have to be worrying about, being late for your job. You don't have to worry about all of these things that, we can take that burden off of people and teach them how to teach other people to do the same thing. It's a generative thing, and a sort of like an unlocking of physical space for people.
Well, I've always loved bikes, and after I retired, I had heard about back alley bikes, and so I decided to come on out over here. And a friend of mine who's no longer with us was a volunteer with me. We lived close together. We used to share rides. Come on down here.
I learned to work on bikes at a similar type of shop at a nonprofit that did bike recycling and education. And so when we moved to Detroit, looking for something similar was really important to me. It was during the pandemic, so back alley was shut down a little bit. And so I just kept coming past and eventually saw a help wanted sign on the door and was like, oh, I would like to help out there. And through a variety of, circumstances, ended up, in the role that I'm in now, which is helping to run it. I feel very lucky too. It's a big challenge, but it's a worthwhile one, and it's been a really good fit for me, and I hope to, live up to it.
One day I was stumbled up on this place by trying to get my bike fixed. And after I got my bike fixed, I came out and there was this guy. He just like, yo, I want this bike. I got this part that I need for this bike. I got the money to get the part, but I don't have the money to get it, the labor to get them to put it on. I said, well, what they charge you to put it on? He said, man, they want about $15. I only got $5. I said, what you do? Go in there, buy the part. I stand out here, I can put the part on for you. You just give me the $5. So it turned into a thing where I turned into like a little hustle or something, like where I come up here every other day just to see who, need help with certain stuff. Hey man, just go in there and buy the part. I put it on out here. And one of the managers came out to say, hey man, you can't keep doing this, man. I said, man, I ain't doing nothing but helping people. He said, if you want a job, man, you come here and get an application and bring it back in the morning if you're serious. I said, I'm serious. So he give me the application. I bring it back. Man, I'm out there before he get there to open the shop. He say, oh, you serious, huh? All right, well, come on in here. I get in the place. He like, if you know what you're doing, I want you to take this bike, start taking it apart. So I started taking it apart. He like, all right, stop. Now I want you to put it together. And I start putting the pieces back on. He starts seeing me put, you know what, man? You know what you're doing. I give you the job. He like, but you gotta be here. I said, I'm gonna be here. Man, every day since I got the job, I get here before the people that, run the place here. I'll be out there and they pull up like, damn, man, every day you gonna pull up earlier than us? I say, I'm stay around the corner. I was like, I'm ready to, mess around. Man, this thing, that started in 2016. And ever since then, it was just something in me, just getting up in the morning, knowing I'm on my way to work and I'm about to go do something that just I'm excited to do.
Back alley bikes originated with Detroit Summer in 1999. This is what I've come to understand as part of this youth movement, and really in that same mode of unlocking the possibility of doing more than you thought you could do because you got bikes that you can use to move gardening tools around in the case of how I've had it described to me. And just seeing a need for education and recycling and kind of like renewal through taking things that would have been discarded and fixing them up and redistributing them and keeping them in circulation.
And at first I didn't know all this, like what tool went for what. It's just I got into that rhythm of like, I want to learn this more, like I want to learn more about this. And I started taking it more serious. I started learning more about what the tools you need to make work for the certain parts of the bike. Man, since then, I started learning more. It just got me more excited of what I'm doing. And every time I thought I knew everything or I knew every part that go to this bike, go to that bike, I run the bikes where I'm like, wait a minute, I don't get this one. And then sometimes the older guys that work there, they didn't tell you. They'll let you just like, so man, you've been sitting on this bike for a minute, what's up? I'm like, I don't know, man, I don't get this one. He said, you know what? I'm gonna let you figure it out. If I took too long, they come there like, you still on here? I said, yeah, man. He said, you know what? Let me show you. And you show me how to do it. I'm gonna show you this one time. Show me it one time, I get it. Next thing I know, when I run to that problem, it's not a problem no more. I'm just like knocking them out. And it's like, the more I did that, the more it just made me like, damn, I got this. I got this more than I thought I had it.
And I learn something every time I come here. You see some old bicycle you never saw, some kind of parts, and you figure out what is this about? And then somebody else knows, and then you get to share more knowledge with the next person who comes in.
And it feel like now I'm more of a mission to like help people as they come in, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, what's going on? Some of them get so frustrated because they don't understand the bike or understand what's going on with the bike. So my part is to show them like what's going on, to understand why is it going on and how to stop it from going on to make the bike go on.
And so helping people to get to that place where they feel like they can do this now, where they can, you know, take what was out of their control and bring it into their control.
You know what I'm saying? And some of the people still thank me to this day when they see me like, hey man, you know that day I seen you and I ain't have enough of that tube. And you still went over there, you took the tire and you took the tube out and you gave me that tube and told me don't worry about it. He said, man, I needed that and I got to work. They come back with like a blessing, man. They're just like, you know what? Huh, man, take this. I'm like, damn, what's this for? Like, nah, man, I don't need, nah, man, take this because you really helped me out that day. I needed that, man. And you don't know how much that means to me that day to get where I had to go.
You know, we see every day how important it is to people and how meaningful it is to, you know, extend that, I don't know, that sort of empowerment in motion.
And man, it's been joy. Like I can't even explain it sometimes how much, you know, it just make me smile. I mean, you have your days, certain people, but I look at it as too, you get some to try to break your day, and you get some to make your day. But however it go, I just make it roll.